sometimes wears it twice as long. Now I'm stepping out of this old brown shoe. I said, baby, baby, I'm in love with you. So glad you came here. It won't be the same now, I'm telling you.
comfort me.
That's right. That is some groovin' sexy song.
And it's nothing like the way
George
George
Harrison.
did it.
Yeah.
No, it's totally different.
Well, I remember saying to you after, because I had never heard the song when George did it, and you came home with this, which you produced, and I said, I love that song. And you said you wouldn't like the way George did it. And the same with
And I don't think you would, and that's not
I
to say that
listened to
George
it.
didn't do it. Oh, look, everybody. Hey, Mark, you see Black Gumby's taking care of you, bud.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, he said he could sit on his
Yeah,
chair.
sure. But I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
But anyway, you said I don't think you would like it as much as the way.
Oh, right.
You don't think I would like George Harrison's version as much, and I didn't. And I loved "I Me Mine" with Mark Ford and Dickie Betts' son or whoever he was.
No.
Whose son?
That's his son.
One of the Allman
It
Brothers.
was,
son.
oh, God.
Come on.
Why do you do, I didn't know I was going to have to take a test.
Uh,
It was, God, why can't I think of his name? Barry Oakley Jr.
Barry Oakley Jr.
Barry Oakley Jr.
And
But
they-
all those guys were...
And you said, yeah, if you heard "I Me Mine" by George Harrison, which I had never, it's like totally different songs.
Well, that's our job. That was a weird thing for me because that was the first time that I was ever asked to produce something
Sorry.
like totally outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah. With people you didn't even know. Well, you knew Leslie, but you had never even met him.
No, I met those guys that day.
When they
They
got
rolled
off the tour
up.
bus.
But the funny thing about that song, about Old Brown Shoe, is Leslie, I remember distinctly now, because all this stuff is, it's a buyout. You come, you play the song, we use it forever, and
No,
get
the
paid
record
this-
company
yeah,
uses
yeah,
it
yeah.
forever. We don't.
And here it is, and you bought out, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it was Steven Record Company, not
So,
Deco.
so when I did the vampires thing, I had Leslie do "Don't Be a Sucker,"
Right.
and I made him play a pig squeal on that one. But on this one, I said, Leslie, because he's playing slide mostly. I said, Leslie,
And it was early in the morning,
how about a pig squeal? You're not paying me enough.
and he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it. And I said, well, listen, you want to do George Harrison that way? That's up to you, bro.
Meanwhile, I don't think it needed a pig squeal.
Well, no, it didn't. It's not that kind of. I just, it's just.
Oh, you know what? This is interesting.
What?
We have Benji Garfinkel watching the show,
Mm-hmm,
and he's the one. He sent Steve a picture of Ace Frehley wearing a very colorful shirt,
Yeah, Ace.
and said, "Is this one of your shirts, Steve?" But it wasn't. But it looked like
No.
it could have been.
Yeah, it could have
But
been.
Ace is wearing color now.
Yeah, what does that tell us?
Ace
That-
has worn black for 50 years.
Throw away all.
So
And
you were ahead of your time.
yeah.
Now.
And so anyway, we had a very interesting weekend.
Well, wait. Mark said Black Gumby can share his chair anytime.
Well, it's cool.
Yep.
Now,
Okay, no. Sue says there is a rare The Beatles white LP 2-disc done by various artists from Mojo Magazine. Great different version.
oh wow. Well, this was a good album too. I mean, this was all George Harrison songs, and but
And you played drums on that because Chris Chanel
I-
said great drum beat in
Oh, that's
Old
right, I
Brown
did.
Shoe.
yeah, I did play on that, and
Yeah.
I played on. I didn't play on Mark Ford's, but I
No.
played on
He
the
had his whole
Entwistle
band.
one too.
Kitty Tigers
no.
posted a picture of a pig.
What?
What is that for?
Should I be insulted?
We want to know what that means, Kitty. What does that mean?
Just that mean.
I don't know. Stop the show. Stop the presses until we find out what that means. Oh, maybe she thinks Ace is a pig?
Well, that's another conversation.
Oh, and we
another
saw-
show.
Pat Romano sporting one of your shirts.
Yes. Yep. I saw that. Very nice, Pat. Thank you for you're the thing about it is, and I'll tell you what the coolest thing of the shirts is, by now, if somebody else is already doing it, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And if somebody else is doing it and I have to do it too, I'm going to do it completely different. That's just.
Oh, pig squeal. That's what the pig is for. No, it sounded like you said squeal. Yes, pig squeal.
Okay. Anyway, pig squeal.
So yes.
Harmonic actually is what it is. But you're not paying me enough.
But it's called a pig squeal. Yes.
Well,
That's what the pig's for.
okay, I got it.
Oui.
Now where
Are you talking about the shirts?
So the idea, I've always liked designer stuff. I grew up in a family that appreciated those kind of things. So I was exposed to it at an early age. Fair enough, right? But when it came time to do my own thing, I wanted it to be different. I mean, what's different about my shirt than every other shirt in the world? I don't care who it is, Gucci, Ferragamo, anybody, Versace.
Who's that cool designer that we like?
Which one?
The rock and roll one.
Oh,
Not the one that did Cheap Trick.
no, what?
Not the Cheap Trick guy.
No,
What's his name? Valentino.
Valentino,
Is it
that's our
Valentino?
hair cutter.
Oh yeah, that's our hair cutter. What's that? He makes like really cool rock and roll
It's
clothes.
I can see it. It's his whole name.
Yeah, it is his whole name.
Oh well, anyway.
Oh well. We know rockers.
This is
better
why we
than
don't go
know.
out. We may never make it back. This is why we stay right here, right here. Oh, well, birds are gathering on the wire. Aha. So, anyway, let me tell you. Oh, well, okay. We had no races this weekend, so it was a total Easter weekend. Totally just vegging,
Oh.
munching,
That's right.
and today, Teeter and I.
No, we watched.
Teeter and I was mending fences.
We were.
this
Yes,
morning.
we were. But we watched Noah last night.
Oh, Noah. Have you
Like
seen
Noah
that?
and the Ark.
Yeah, like Noah's Ark.
We've never seen that. What Russell Crowe was in it.
Russell
and,
Crowe and who was
Jennifer Connelly, Emma Watson.
God?
No, God wasn't in it.
Well, kind of was. Anyway, it's long. It's well done. And
It was really good.
okay, since you said, it left me thinking that, look at the world, look around you in the world, right? I don't want to give away to anybody that might want to choose to watch it. But if Noah had done what he thought he was supposed to do, right?
Right. I don't think he was supposed to do that, though.
Okay. Well, then here we are again.
Or,
It's you and me, Teeter.
I think. Don't call me that! Call me Teeter. I'll be calling you Jimmy.
Jimmy? Oh, you can call me Jimmy. That doesn't embarrass me.
Okay, then there's got to be the one with the guitar. What's his name?
We're not going to do what's his name every 10 minutes, are we?
What's his name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Valentino.
All right, you need to stop.
Oh God. We had a really good Easter. We ate
Yes,
lots of
we hope you had a
stuff.
good Easter as well.
We did it the whole weekend.
And the thing that I posted is called a nectar soda. And
Yes.
it's not a nectar ice cream soda, although I guess, it's a wedge or it's a hero or a torpedo. I guess it could be a nectar soda or a nectar ice cream soda. But I'll tell you one thing it was good.
Yeah, it's really good. And a lot of people don't know about those.
No.
No. And my mother grew up drinking them and having them. It was a New Orleans thing.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, so tonight, very fun, interesting tonight, where we've got Brad Dr. Clockus, the whole crew is back in tonight. So we're going to be doing. Oh, it looks like everybody's here. I'll be right back. No, I won't be right back. You get to see all this. Here we go. Come in. You don't hear the bell though, right? They don't hear the bell. Okay,
no, they don't
one.
hear the bell.
There we are. No, I don't hear the bell.
Not you.
Oh, what's
no,
he
not
doing
you. Them.
in? He doesn't. He doesn't come
He's
in
here.
now.
He's here. Yeah, he keeps us on the clock.
Oh, that's right.
Clock us.
That's right. Hey, Lori.
Hey,
Oh,
how was the play?
The play was awesome. It was
And
really.
Which
It was.
character was she? You showed us. Which one was she?
She had a very small part, because she's a freshman.
Right.
But next year she'll be in there more. She's got 3 more years yet.
Did she do good?
Yeah, she was great. She was awesome.
Very
She
good.
was great. But I tell you, they did The Little Mermaid, and the girl that did the main, what Ariel, I guess it is,
Yeah.
was
Hey guys.
just unbelievable.
Hey.
Now, I'll send you the video. I have.
Yeah, we're dying to see
I
kids
would
we
not
don't know
let
doing
my-
stuff we don't care about.
Yeah, I would not
Right.
let my daughter know that you were bragging on another girl.
Dying to do that.
This is that. You see my new picture here, Steve? See my new picture?
Oh, wow, that's from Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, we're changing that now. I want to put up Joe Stubbe again.
Okay, so that's that was I was in Vegas and I bought a Jimi Hendrix from the Hendrix fashion line. That shirt had the white embroidery on it. Anyway,
Wow,
hey
okay.
you guys, how are you?
Yeah, hi.
Hey,
Hey, happy Easter week as it continued.
Oh, is it-
Hope you guys had a good holiday weekend.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how about
we
you?
did. Peaceful and full of deliciousness.
well, you still are having Passover, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So how does that work?
Yeah, what do
not
you
that we
do?
want to do the whole show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what happens?
Listen.
Right.
Tell them what happened.
Okay. Have you ever watched 10 Commandments?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's that storyline. It's us coming out of Egypt in the land to the promised land to be free, and the promise to be free, and what it really means to do what it takes to find a better path for the generation coming up, and to give of oneself. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah. And
Well, okay, and I learned most of my
But that doesn't tell us
scripture from
anything about.
MGM.
Yeah.
What? I thought it was just one night. It's 5 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a series of celebrations and commemorations all throughout the time of Passover. Many things took place, and we recognize it on the Seder plate. There's a plate with little symbols of food, and each one of the types of food has its own special symbolic meaning to help us carry over the traditions, like the egg standing for life and light.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the earth, believe it or not, being round. That's a whole nother story.
being elliptical.
Being elliptical.
So they edited that out in the 10 Commandments. They edited it out like 4 days.
Well,
No,
listen, it was a tough gig to pull off. There's a lot of information on that, and I am I'm only a mild scholar on that. There's a lot of people who dive their whole life into that storyline.
Hey man, we watched Noah yesterday.
Yeah, we
about him in
man.
the ark, and there was stuff on there that we don't know if it's true
Yeah,
or not.
we now have to look stuff up because someone stowed away on the ark. Did somebody stow away on the ark?
Yeah, one of
To anybody's knowledge,
one of the bad,
one of Cain's descendants.
Cain and Abel. Yeah.
There's much conjecture on it, but I can tell you this. Graham Hancock, he wrote a book called Fingerprints of the Gods. You turned me on to it.
He's a genius.
And he spends quite a bit of in-depth, of sophisticated breakdown archaeological discovery on that very subject, because almost every every culture has talked about the Great Flood and the details within it, and that is Noah's Ark.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
every culture.
Well, it's
Well, this bad guy was supposed to like eat
it was,
one of the snakes, so then it
I
didn't
mean,
have anything
the,
to make
the
with.
storyline, and as you can tell, we're not, we haven't been to seminary for a couple of weeks.
We haven't been to the cemetery.
According to this thing, the earth was inhabited by all of the descendants of Cain, because Abel got killed or whatever.
And Seth.
But they thought they had killed all the descendants of Seth, except they didn't, because Russell Crowe,
And Jennifer Connelly, of course, yeah.
And
Well, he was Noah.
he was Noah, yeah, and I don't know. I've never read some of this stuff, and I don't really know whether it was scripturally correct or whether they were being Hollywood but it was wild.
This is a brilliant subtext for tonight's subject.
Okay, what is it?
Tonight, we are going to talk about folk heroes.
Folk heroes, okay.
Folk heroes, because within rock and roll, we talk about the guitar, the loud music, and all of the culture and the influences that make up the word, the thought process and theme of rock and roll. But the fact is, that renegade spirit of standing up to making sure that some things must be made right, even against, situations much larger than us, the David and Goliath stories, that starts with the folk singer, because that folk singer writes that message down and puts a tune to it, and it is repeated and brought into someone's soul for the next generation to repeat.
Should I hit the slide now?
And slide one, please.
No.
And who is our first character?
Joni Mitchell. And I'm going to tell you something about Joni Mitchell. She's been coming
Then
up.
he sent me her CD.
She's been coming up quite a bit lately, and I don't know whether you watched. Was it the Oscars? What was it? Where she was
No, it would be the Grammys.
the Grammys? Okay.
Yes, it would be the music
Yeah, she was.
portion.
I think it was her and Lady Gaga or something gave out an award, but
Yeah.
she, I always kind of lumped her in with Joan Baez and Judy Collins, right?
Right.
Which is like so wrong, because she's really a jazz person.
Yeah.
And Jaco Pastorius, your buddy from Miami,
Yeah.
played very famously on a lot of her stuff. So,
Joni Mitchell is a great place to start, because, with a little bit of research, we start cracking open the egg and the yolk of rock and roll. Because
I could have had an egg that could have broken.
I know.
I mean,
Joni Mitchell has been attached to writing with, for, composing, singing, something with Crosby, Still, Nash and Young, James Taylor, as you said, Jaco, Stephen Stills, the
Herbie
band,
Hancock even.
yeah, Neil Young. So the
Robert
list-
Plant.
yeah, Robert Plant. I mean, she.
I'll find out what song. I know he wrote a
She
song
did a
about
lot
her.
of. I mean, she was. Well, but anyway, go ahead. You've got you're tying the thing together, but it's
So let's go to the next screen.
slide.
Slide. This picture of her shows her in the early 70s. And, when we do the research on this, I was going through some, different file footage on YouTube and different streaming services. And we saw this one, I think it was 1969, and she was singing Yellow Taxi. And it was her inflection, and her youth was so infectious.
Yeah.
And this smile really kind of picked it in. And it was just, the joy to write music and the time frame that she was writing it at that moment had to have been incredible.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I even
Robert Plant wrote "Going to California" about her.
Oh, he wrote that about her.
Yeah, he had never met her.
Going to California.
But she was an idol of his.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's that. And she, you know, she was a part of. If you watch those the two documentaries, the Jacob Dylan one is not as good as the other one, but the what am I thinking?
Laurel Canyon.
Laurel Canyon. You really get the background of how there was a core of people that expelled out into a whole, but it was just like this tiny little core of people that supposedly knew how to do what they were doing, and everybody else kind of gravitated around them, and it grew and grew.
Yeah, and they all got record deals.
Amazing,
and, yeah. Like the Mamas and Papas lived there, and all the guys in Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Joni Mitchell, and Mama Cass, and Jackson Brown.
Yeah.
And they'd all go smoke pot at each other's houses and write songs together. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of connection between everyone we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, let's go to the next slide.
Slide. Focus.
I'm on it.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a great shot. Okay, next slide. Let's get to the... So who do you think this is?
Oh,
I could tell who the little one is. That's Paul Simon, but I guess that must be Art
Simon
Garfunkel.
and Garfunkel.
So, yes, that is Simon and Garfunkel, but at this point in time in 1957, they were known better as Tom and Jerry.
Can you believe it?
yes, I remember something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
The
Wow.
cat and mouse situation.
You know,
I know.
This picture reminded me of just about every scene in Spinal Tap. You remember in the beginning when they showed some of these early pictures of the group and they looked like this?
Sure.
It looks a little Leave It to Beaver to me. I mean, I'm sorry.
I remember. Believe me, I remember. I was in Spinal Tap.
Oh, were you now?
Oh.
My favorite.
So let's go to this next picture of them.
Wow.
You know, when they came out with The Sound of Silence in 1965, it struck a chord so important and so vivid in the American folk rock genre. It really spurred something on. I mean, your New York connection. How was it like there when that happened?
Well, it was. I mean, it was back in that day. There was like one of everything. Now that's not necessarily true, but for the sake of making the point, there was one Simon and Garfunkel. There was one Mamas and the Papas. There was one Beatles, one
Bob
Stones,
Dylan.
one Bob, right, and one Joni Mitchell, and so on and so forth. And from those, you know, came a lot of stuff. You know, I mean, they all threw it off in different directions. But Simon and Garfunkel, I mean, they were just massive. I remember the concert in the park. They were, they were, and it was not like anything else. It wasn't like the Kingston Trio or it was a big production. It was acoustic rock with big orchestrations.
Yeah.
They were great.
It was really quite unique. They were, I mean, who else was like that? Certainly not the Righteous Brothers. No, no disrespect, but they're not in that club. So that's a well-placed anchor right there.
You know, and I think it's also been kind of linked to, at that time, it was really kind of the changing a lot of America's viewpoints from Leave It to Beaver days to changing to other things about real topics about,
With all the political strife going on as we got into the early 70s through that late 60s period, these icons that we're talking about now really helped to create a movement of change and feeling an attitude with the country. So they were so, I think, pivotal.
Yeah.
In
I mean, they spoke about things like loneliness and the struggles of, everyday people. And that was just not commercially sound advice on so many levels. It didn't have a bop to it. It didn't have, that vibe, but it touched people's hearts.
Right.
But they had been preceded by the blues movement of the late 50s. And so, the darkness as far as content was out there, and they kind of got permission to talk about things other than, hey, I love you and candy shop and let's go to the beach.
And it was also interesting how it played in the group was how it played in their life, kind of like Sound of Silence, like you could hear the breakup happening between their relationship. Things kind of sucked. And
and I liked
Mike Nichols asked Art Garfunkel to act in a movie he was directing, and he did not ask Paul Simon to be in it, and that's what started the tension.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, they were great. But they already did it. It's there for you. And, it doesn't matter how it ended or, what changed because.
And also I have another fact.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's
the album that they were putting out, it had Cecilia on it, and it had Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah.
And they thought Cecilia should be the single. And the record company said, no, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Wow.
Huh.
I think they were right.
Yeah, probably right.
But it still came out as a single eventually, right, Cecilia?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but it's just like everything else. And, there's the people, record companies, the people at labels, they really don't know about anything other than statistics, at least not in this time. Yes, there were a couple of executives, Berry Gordy, a couple of guys, Clive, a couple of guys with ears that heard beyond the balance, sheet. But, if you look at all those carbon copy doo-wop bands from the 50s, all the Frankie Avalons and Fabians and all that, that was the record company selling pieces of plastic with a hole in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the bottom line is they really, this was, I think, a really important duet at the time, and I think that their sound really encompassed a generation, along with these other people we're going to talk about. But as a kid growing up, I was just a kid and I didn't really know the difference between one and the other. But when I was young, this is what was on the radio, and this is what my parents listened to, and this is what, not just did I listen to it then, but we can hear it now. Here we are, how many years later, and it's just as beautiful, and it sounds just as good. I do have one aside. When I lived in Miami and I was in college, I used to go see this one guy play. His name was Bob Moffett. He was a musician. He is a musician, and he had a solo gig, and I would watch him. I'd see him in various venues, sidewalk cafes and bars and whatnot. He sounded exactly like these guys, like James Taylor, like Simon and Garfunkel. He had a brother who would make a guest appearance now and again, and they would sing together, and I swear you thought you were at a Simon and Garfunkel concert. It was just incredible to watch and very moving, and that was in the late 80s, or early 90s, I guess. So, it's just that music doesn't end. It just keeps going, and it was really great. So,
yeah, well, it's true. And that stuff, especially that stuff, from Mrs. Robinson to any of the other stuff. What's the one, me and Julio, Chrome and. Uh-oh.
Barbara up there.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Time.
It's a good time for a break.
All right.
For a quick break, but we
You might
will
want to
be.
pay attention.
You will, but we will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
I love those sponsors.
Bradley's Jewelers in South Fort Myers. Diamonds, bridal, you name it. Estate, custom design, and expert repair. Bradley's Jewelers, South Fort Myers. They specialize in amazing moments.
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
yes. Oh.
I love that opal butterfly.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
amazing.
isn't that gorgeous? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. So who's up next, Dr. Clackus?
Clackus, wake up! Clackus, slide!
Oh, Oak Slide. Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, who is that? It looks like Nuno Bentoncourt, but then I see.
Jim Byers.
Yes.
And this picture is interesting, Brad.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty important picture. It is taken on the March on Washington in August 1963. She performed.
Yeah, and she performed.
Yeah, it's the famous one where Dr. Martin Luther King gave his speech, I Have a Dream. So This was given to over 250,000 people. Listen, right on the lawn.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like, you can tell by the mics, but I mean, that's.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'm actually, when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about like how today is the pressure cooker, and I'm looking at this and how her spirit back then, you can see the conviction and how young she is and how important young, strong voices are to make good music, to make good choices.
And this
Well,
was
her and Bob Dylan did a lot of tours together.
Yeah, they did a lot of tours together, and she opened a lot of doors there.
For him.
But
They have a story that's very linked. You know that song, Diamonds and Rust?
yeah,
That song is about us. They had a relationship.
aha.
oh, I know.
Yep.
And when that relationship ended, 10 years later, after the relationship was just out of the blue, she gets a phone call from Bob Dylan. And all of the flood of emotions, because she found these cufflinks that she gave him, and it brought all those emotions back, the phone call, the cufflinks, and it brought this idea of diamonds and rust, about how their relationship just kind of went the way it went. And, you know, it's incredible when you see the nucleus between Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, and the radial waves of all these amazing.
When we were looking at the lyrics, there was one thing that I was shocked in the lyrics. It says that something about you didn't like my poetry or something, or you didn't think my poetry was any good. And I thought, oh, okay. Like,
Well, I mean, do you think Taylor Swift was the first one to write about her life? You know, I mean, that's what this was back then. It was all about your message and who you were and what your message was. I mean, I remember because in 63, I would have been 11 or wait. Yeah, 11-ish, 10, 11, 12-ish, depending on what part of the year. And, you know, that's when all of this stuff, there was nothing in front of it. You know, people that are hearing Joan Baez for the first time are also hearing the Beatles for the first time, hearing Hendrix for the first time, hearing Guns N' Roses for the first time, and so on and so forth.
not 1960.
No, but now, check it out. So
What?
let's go to the next slide.
Slide, block us.
Block us.
Yeah.
Pick him up, will you?
Right.
And I found this picture of her. I thought she looked so beautiful there.
Gorgeous, yeah.
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 That's a nice picture. It's a real good picture.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Slide,
Slide,
block
block
us.
us.
I got it. I gotta get in Slide Fest.
So there's the happy couple.
Ah, yeah.
Oh wow.
Mr. Happy, I guess.
So let's go. Wait. So let's go to the next picture because now we've got the bridge going. There he is.
Yes.
Robert Allen Zimmerman.
Robert. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Slide.
So, he has been one of let's go to the next slide.
You got it.
This
There you
is when he was later in his career, but I think that everyone, he was in a little group called, what was that super group called?
Oh, you're asking me?
Come on, Steve, help me out here.
Are you talking about the band?
Yeah.
Oh, the band.
What band do you think he was in at this time?
It was called The Band.
The band.
Yeah.
Robbie Robertson and Garth Hudson and Richard Emanuel, Levon Hill. Well, let me ask
The
you.
Wilburys is what I was trying to lead up to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Wilbury.
When he was a Wilbury and put the all of that together, along with so many other distinguished, I wanted to tee that up to anybody else you may know in the traveling Wilburys.
Well, I don't. Let's see. Who do I know out of that? I mean, I know
Jeff Lynne.
I don't know Jeff Lynne. I don't know Jeff. I think as close as I get to that would be Tom Petty's drummer.
Okay.
Steve Ferroni. I know Jim Keltner certainly by reputation and NAMM shows and that stuff. And who else was in there? Roy. I didn't know Roy.
No.
Although I'm friends with Roy
Petty.
Jr. on
George Harrison.
Twitter.
Yeah, George Harrison.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Yeah, George Harrison.
Wasn't he just one of a kind? I mean, he really, really defined his own place in music history, I would say.
Bob?
Yeah.
Bob, you talking about?
Yeah, there's no one that can compare. He's just so singular in its presence.
Yeah, he's really something.
Well, we watched. We watched there's some cool music documentaries out there, and I think yesterday one of our features was a Sam Cooke documentary, and that would really blow your mind as to what the groundwork was that Sam laid, being able to speak the truth, because he was speaking the truth before Joan Baez, and I mean, it was all, but he had to. It would, if you get to see it, it's amazing, the Sam Cooke story. Really remarkable. Jim Brown is in it, the real Jim Brown, and it talks about that night in Miami when they all got together at that hotel room. The thing that they did the movie about with Malcolm X, and it's amazing. Yeah, and it's amazing that he would have to put on two completely different kind of shows, and they showed it in the documentary. They showed him ripping it up in the clubs where his people were, ripping it up, and then laying it down, for the mainstream audience without going, too far.
Okay, before we stray too much further,
yes.
Chris Chanel, one of our children of the lawn, he brought up something interesting. He said that in the John Lennon song God, which is where he says, I don't believe in Beatles, he says, I don't believe in Zimmerman.
Yeah, I knew that.
Which Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I'll have to re-listen to that.
Yeah.
Well, do you know the song It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding?
No.
By Bob Dylan? No?
No.
Did you ever see the movie Easy Rider?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's it's interesting lyrics, and there's one verse. It's like how he kept. It was almost like rap because he's not really singing, but whatever. But there's one that goes, "He who sings with his tongue on fire gargles in the rat race choir, bent out of shape by society's pliers, cared not to climb up any higher, so he'd rather pull you down in the hole that he's in."
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
Heavy. I love it. Shout out to the man.
Yeah. So that's what that is very funny. When I was doing a record, as a session with Richie Blackmore, and a bunch of his roadies and some of the guys in the band were from Long Island, so they knew me because we all came up together. And they were saying, the first day I came into the studio, hey, Rat Race, and Blackmore's walking down the stairs, and he says, oh, Rat Race Choir, who came up with that name? So I said, Bob Dylan. And he said, really? Was he in the band? And I said, no, he was a songwriter down in Greenwich Village. That was day one with
I love it.
Richie Blackmore. Day one of 7. Anyway, I digress. Slide, Clockets. Where are we going here?
So,
wow, JT.
You recognize him with hair.
Well,
yes,
that's how I remember him. You got to realize, I mean, your smiling face, and the hits. He was amazing, and you know what? I gotta see if I can pull this off, because I will blow your mind.
James Taylor?
Yeah. What? No. I got to see if I can find this.
Oh, Fire and Rain?
Where is it? Fire and Rain.
Yeah. Well, he was in a mental hospital, right?
Yeah, across the street from where we live.
No, he wasn't in that one.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Oh, that was Alice Cooper was in the one.
Yeah.
No.
He was put in a mental hospital.
Why?
And that's where he wrote Fire and Rain.
Yeah, because it was about a friend of his that died of drug overdose. I read that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a girl that was in the mental hospital with him. Because he was a junkie, like a heroin junkie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have it here, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think he just defined the generation, his music. Even now you hear it, it's on all the time. I mean, and it still just brings you back to that beautiful time that, I don't know.
And listen to the connective circle. Carole King, Carly Simon, Joni Mitchell, Paul McCartney, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Dr. John, B.B.
King, Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy,
Robert Cray, Paul Simon.
Crosby and Nash, of course.
Jackson Brown, Bonnie Raitt. It's like the list is like.
Well, you see, that's and the funny thing is, we're gonna James, Kate, his sister, is going to do the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, now one of the children of the lawn, Michael Newton, said that
Children of the Lawn.
James Taylor was in McLean's Hospital in Belmont, Massachusetts.
Oh.
Wow.
Was he there for very long?
I don't know how long he was in there. I
would like to say informally that he is a top student and graduate from the program. He's dynamite. Love him.
Yeah.
He's a monster, and I'll tell you. I was looking for this thing and I can't find it, so it doesn't really matter. But I was working with this kid from England, and there was a quality in his voice that I couldn't quite put my finger on.
He was in 9 months in the mental hospital.
9 months.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just couldn't put my finger on the sound of it. I was going to try to find it to play it for you, but I have no idea where it really is. And when I figured it out, that it was James Taylor, and this is a kid from the middle of England, right? Who's got like the country English accent.
Bowls over.
Yeah, bowls over. The last thing in the world you'd think is this guy sounded like James Taylor, but it was remarkable.
Yeah.
Just remarkable.
That's how my friend was that I used to go see play. Bob Moffat. He sounded just like him. It was absolutely uncanny and amazing.
And you know what I think is interesting about, James Taylor? The amount of variety of group of people that listen to him. People that you wouldn't expect. When you look at them, book of the cover misreading, they listen to it. All walks of life. And I think it's because there are universal chords that he allows the weight of the gravity and the sophistication of not just the music, but the message on everything that he does, the sincerity. I think that
I think the sincerity is probably the right word.
And I think that it's timeless in that sincerity because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, today we are living in just such complicated times, but music like this, we listen to so much of this. Last night was a wonderful night. We stayed home all last night listening to all this music.
Oh, cool.
And he was singing it, and it was great.
Yeah.
You know what the bottom line is this to me, because of my age, all of these people are like the bedrock of where I gained my original appreciation for music, and the fact that they're so timeless that here we are listening to them generations later. It's remarkable to me that the longevity and the staying power.
So let's see.
Before we move away from James, I don't know if this is going to work, but just listen to this for a second.
Oh, sure.
If it works, I don't know if it's going to. It'll either work or it won't work or something like that. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that
You get the.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was enjoying that.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to take.
It's a great song.
He's amazing. He was. And it was weeks. I was working with him for weeks. I'd send him things, over the net, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then finally,
You had him sing that.
I had him sing that, but I had to change the key because it wasn't his voice. If you listen to it, if you A/B it with James Taylor's voice, it's got the same. It almost sounds like James Taylor's voice is sped up a little bit. It's a little thinner and higher.
Yeah.
But amazing. Still had that. Anyway,
That's cool.
it was fun.
I'll listen to that beautiful music anytime. So who's next?
Yeah, what do we got next there, Clockus? What's coming up?
That's it. That was the last picture.
Well, then we're going to say bonus round because we have to talk about Carole King.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
But we're going to talk about her because she's too centrally located in the sphere of folk heroes.
but you see, when I think of Carole King, and I think of I think of Carole King and Neil Diamond and Simon and Garfunkel. That's the whole East Coast contingent where Joni Mitchell and all. That's like such a different. I feel like I feel like I was a part of. Not that I was, but that I was, around when it was happening in New York. I was only able to hear about it happening in the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I had Carole King's Tapestry album.
You did.
When I was in high school.
Very nice.
So what was your favorite song? Name one of your favorite songs.
What am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Didn't I play with her? Didn't she?
You played with her at Spodioti.
Yeah, she came to one of my birthday parties in the city.
I feel the earth move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great song.
And interestingly enough, did you know that song was partly inspired by her political mindedness about saving the environment?
Wow.
Wow. No, I did not know that.
Details can be found within that song to inspire others to realize that the earth's moving under your feet, even though you don't know it.
Wow.
And, there's gravity to the statement.
It would just be nice if we could have somebody actually take
The rain.
notice of the earth and do more we need to so desperately. And here we are 50 years later still talking about it and not really doing as much as necessary.
Well, I like to say we've done much, but there's more to go.
There's so much more to go.
But you know
Well,
what?
okay, I'm going to get on both sides of the argument. We have done more damage in the past 200 years than we have in the previous 20,000.
Earth Day is next Friday.
What?
We should play that song.
Oh, here I'm going to get flagged now. Here it comes. Oh.
Ouch.
Okay.
Well, so with that said, folk heroes, they inspire us to look within so we can make change outside.
Yeah, well, it's true.
They have the longevity to touch so many generations, and hopefully will continue to do so.
Yeah, inspire goodness, folk heroes.
Yeah, and I would say Crosby, Stills, and Nash and all of those things were the next tier of it all. It was, it's amazing what they all did.
Yeah.
But perfect, beautiful.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight.
Well, we did.
Hey,
Thank you, man. Thank you both.
Very good.
What's that?
Hopefully that it brought back some good memories.
A lot of good
yeah.
memories. And, we have Jimmy Ryan on the show who knew Carly Simon before she even was making records.
Yeah.
They worked in a candy store together?
They were.
No, it was a guitar store in Manhattan. It was a guitar shop. I forgot the name of it.
Right, a music store. That's right. Yeah. So,
Yep.
I mean, believe me, it's
And
great
then
memories.
she went on to ask him to be in her band and her musical
She played
director.
he played on all those big records, Anticipation and all that.
And they're
It's
still
amazing.
friends. And Anticipation was written about Cat Stevens because she made dinner for him and he was an hour late and waiting. So she wrote Anticipation.
Wow.
And you got that from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's an incredible story. Along with, I remember as a kid seeing the anticipation of the ketchup bottle.
Yes.
Ketchup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
And it was either Jim Keltner or my cousin Ricky that played drums on that record with the boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm, but
Clockus, go get Angus
that's
for
what
us.
that
I'm going to go out. I will see you guys later.
Thank you, Brad and
This
Colby.
was great. It brought back a lot of
Excellent show
memories.
today.
Good to see you
Yeah.
guys.
Excellent show.
Really good.
Yes, excellent.
Good night.
See you later.
Next
All right.
week.
Take care. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Whoop. Badoosh. Now, Angus is gone, but see, I can do this now, waiting for him to return. And that was cool. And it's true. I remember that, I grew up minutes away from where the New York East Coast part of that whole thing was happening.
I know. Well, the Children of the Lawn loved the show.
Oh, the
and they're all
children.
saying that it went by so fast. It went too fast.
Yeah, it flew by, right?
See, time flies when you're having fun.
Oosh, and there you are, little children. There you are.
Yes.
So let's see. You want to, we're waiting for Clockus. That's what it is.
Right. We forgot.
Where is this mother clocker?
Well,
Angus
I don't know,
goes in.
but
He's
anyway.
going to get Angus. Anyway, what?
Remember
Get it,
tomorrow.
get it.
Oh, here he
wait,
comes, here he
wait.
comes,
People,
here he comes.
tomorrow, get your song request ready for Wednesday. We already have Flash. Ed Hamer asked to see Flash or hear Flash by Rat Race Choir. Not now. We don't want them now, but get them ready for tomorrow.
Hey, look.
Hey,
Angus.
and we're back. I found them. Okay.
All
My
right.
Oh, wait a
daddy's
minute.
here. I'll take my 3-wood, please.
I like this hat. I like this hat.
I like that hat,
Okay,
too.
wait a minute. I've been waiting since yesterday now. Is it time?
Oh, God. I forgot.
Or should we wait until after the guest? After the guest.
Yeah, after the guest.
Yeah, because,
Okay.
because
You might not make it to the guest.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
don't want
you're going to want to hop through those guests as quick as possible.
Okay,
What
all
do we
right.
have tomorrow, Angus?
Tuesday night. It's been a long time waiting, but I think this is going to be one of Laurie's favorites.
Okay.
Judith Black. That's a professional name. Jeff's wife.
Judith Black Sites. Oh, who's that guy she's with?
I don't know. You better call Jeff though.
Yeah.
Jeff's wife, and she's
Yeah.
also the
She's a tour manager.
tour manager or
Yes.
stage manager for Stuart Copeland.
And let me tell you what, they have tour managers. It's going to be interesting to see
Is she
who
a
it
tour
is.
manager or stage manager?
Well, I'm sure she's done it all.
Yeah.
Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
She's the one that came on and said, "I don't know what you're doing, but you better stop it
Oh,
to Jeff
God, yeah, I
on
have
Halloween."
that. We need that.
Stop doing it.
So,
Thank you very
it's-
much.
yeah, we were saying, "Is that your mom?" So
Yeah, no, she's
that should be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
She's
yeah.
a good
Okay.
sport.
Yeah, she's really super nice. She's gonna have a great time. She's looking forward to it. And of course, Wednesday night, I still like this one with the fireworks and the different colors and stuff.
Very nice with the
Yeah.
fireworks. Yes.
I even look at it at night. I just look at it and go, "Wow, that was cool." Okay. So
Yeah.
Thursday is somebody out of your past, Annie Hoffman, the
Yes.
bass player from the all-girl group The Skirts.
Well, I don't think she was the bass player.
No?
No, I always thought she was the guitar player. I think Laura played. Well, I think
Laura's, look right there. There's a picture.
yeah, and Annie's playing guitar.
Really?
They were both playing guitar, actually.
Strat.
We'll have to ask.
You know what? Okay. All I'm saying that's I recognize
Well,
her
you
in
know
every
what?
one of
Russ
these.
just started watching the show. Russ, was Annie the guitar player or bass player?
I'm guitar player. There
Okay,
she
well,
is
anyway,
playing a Strat right
she played
there.
in Laura
Right in front
Bright's
of
band.
Yeah, she played in
Yeah.
the Skirts, and she.
We'll find
Yeah.
out what she's doing now.
Yeah, we'll find out what she's doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, go clock us. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, of course, we're going to do the Free For All Friday thing. Okay, I got it out of the way. Yes.
Friday. Wait, Friday is Earth Day, everybody.
Right, so it's Free for All Earth Day.
Free For All. Okay.
Okay.
Free For Okay. Wait a minute. I gotta find, where's my ship?
I don't know.
There, okay, I'm underwater now.
Okay,
Okay.
Russ says she played bass.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
She played bass? Why do I
At the
remember her
end, he
being a
said
guitar
bass.
player?
I don't know. He said at the end she played bass.
Oh, at the end. Okay, but I remember the halcyon years.
Okay.
All right, anyway.
Oh, his birthday. Is your birthday today, Russ?
Whose?
He said, my birthday, old hippie.
Oh, happy birthday, old hippie.
hippie.
Where's your dog?
Where's
There you
the
go.
dog?
All right. Ram, you gonna-
Okay.
Okay, wait. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
To you. Sing. Happy birthday, dear
Russ. Oh, it's on Earth Day. Never mind.
Oh, it's on Earth
It's
Day.
Friday.
Oh, never mind.
All right, never mind.
Well, see, now he still wants to get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. You said you had a joke, though? You had one?
No, I don't have one.
You don't have one.
No. Nope.
Okay, well, you know, a lot of people are working out these days. And new
Stop.
People are
a new gym,
eat fast.
a new gym opens up, right? And this guy comes and he joins the gym. He's the first guy to join the gym when it opens. And he says, listen, listen, I don't care how much I got to pay for a membership. He said, I have a very, very strict regimen that I do. I exercise every muscle in my body. I can isolate every muscle in my body. He said, and some of the techniques that I know are so old that, I'd rather not do them where other people can see me. So they said, look, if you're paying for it, you need a private room for whatever it is you're doing. You just go. And the guy's there every day, and he's in there, and they hear him doing all this different shit. But Nobody goes in, nobody bothers him. He leaves every day. Thank you very much. Gets his stuff, and he's in and he's out. Okay. Now he's doing this for months. And, he'll sit at the end of one of his sessions and he'll say, today I worked on the trapezius, whatever it is. And it's the only muscle that you can blah, 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 blah.
Trapezius?
It's true. The trapezius. Yeah.
Okay.
Deltoids.
A trapezius muscle.
Yeah. Anyway, so about a year has gone by, right? And he's, he's very proud of what he's doing, but he's very private about it. And all of a sudden, one day, he's in there for about 15 or 20 minutes, and they hear him start screaming his head off. He's screaming, ah! 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 Right? And they don't want to go in there. She pays all this money.
They don't want to go in there.
He pays all this money to be a member of the club, and he wants his privacy, but he's screaming at the top of his lungs, right? Ah! They're going, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he's flailing around, and all of a sudden he rolls over, and they see that there's a 4-pound dumbbell, one of the ones, and it's jammed in his ass.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
So they said to him, how did this happen? And he's going, ah, ah, ah. Can't speak. He's in so much.
Oh God, my face hurts.
He's in so much pain that they take him right to the hospital. They got
Dr. Larry?
Yeah, and they got to open him up, they get the thing out.
Open him up.
Yeah, they got to open him up and take the thing out, he's in so much pain he can hardly even speak. Right? I mean, he's just, my God, and he's recuperating. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. And he's all upset because now he's missing his routine.
Yeah, and everybody knows what he's doing in there.
Missing his routine. So after a couple of weeks, they let him out of the hospital, and the first thing he does is goes back to the gym, right?
Oh, God.
And he gives the person at the desk $100 tip, and he says, my room ready for me?
Oh, God.
And they said, yeah, sure, but, we're going to check on you just to make sure everything's okay. And all of a sudden, after like 5 minutes, they start hearing, so they don't even wait this time to come in. They just burst in, and he looks up and he goes, "That's two."
Oh, God. Yeah. Very good. That's two.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well.
What? Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think I messed my pants.
Oh God. Oh man, I've been waiting to tell you that like for 2 days.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him tell you.
Oh my
Especially
God.
on Easter.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was worth the wait since yesterday.
And I've been cooking it around for a day too. It's
Yeah. Oh
I
man.
get it. It's just it's fun.
All right.
It's fun.
I'm done.
Okay, yeah, we're done too.
Yeah, we're done.
What do we have?
Well, let's
Better
talk.
Call Saul.
Oh, yeah, we have 2.5 hours of Better Call Saul.
Wah, wah.
The last season starts tonight.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Where we'll be right over there.
Yeah.
I'll see everybody later. Thank you.
Right.
That was great. All right. See you, Lori. See you, Steve. Goodbye,
Take care,
everybody.
bud. Thanks.
Okay, well, that was very funny.
Yeah.
Very, very
Good.
funny.
Thank you.
Okay, and tonight was great.
Yeah, Brad and
were
Colby,
great.
man, amazing.
Learned a lot of stuff. Now, tomorrow night, we have Jeff Seitz' wife.
No,
Judith Black.
no. You kidding? We do not have Jeff Seitz' wife.
It is. Her name is Judith Black, and she's the tour manager for Stuart Copeland.
But
and
she's
she's
not
married
Jeff Seitz'
to
wife.
Jeff.
Well, okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that should not be the prerequisite. Try that with Georgianne Williams.
Oh, God.
This is Cliff Williams' wife. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Is that it?
that's it.
Okay, if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
We made it.